representing the Tecno Phantom X2 review. And this is a picture of the Tecno Phantom X2 introduction. Since we are recently reviewed the Phantom X2 Pro, we are going to assume the large portion of our reader is now familiar with the Tecno as a brand. Still, we will give you a cliff of the notes. Tecno is one of the brand under the head of the Chinese tech giant transition. It get used predominant in overseas market and most prominent Africa. If you heard of the Tecno, chance are it's of the popular Camon line, a line of the value device with a clear focus on the camera experience. However, there is also a Phantom line which has a more or less been spun up into its own separate entity, one that aim to deliver truly flagship devices and experience. Last year, the original Phantom was released, and the now Phantom X2 series is here. It consists of two devices, the Pro, and we already reviewed the vanilla Phantom X2 model we have at the office today. The Phantom X2 family still take it after procedure in certain way, but it is overall a venture into the truly premium flagship space of the Tecno. Just like its pro sibling, the Phantom X2 has an eye-catching premium design flagship internal with the MediaTek Dimensity 9000 chipset, a curved AMOLED display, a large battery pack. Tecno Phantom X2 specs at the glance. Body is 164.6 multiply 72.7 multiply 8.9 mm 203 gram glass front Gorilla Glass Victus aluminium frame is plastic back, and the display is 6.80 AMOLED 120 Hz 1080p multiply 2400 px resolution 29 aspect ratio 387 ppi, and the chipset is MediaTek Dimensity 9004 nm octa-core 1 multiply 3.05 GHz Cortex X2 and 3 multiply 2.85 GHz Cortex A710 and 4 multiply A 1.80 GHz Cortex A510 Mali G710 MC10, and the memory is 4 GB RAM and 64 GB memory. Other version come with the 4 GB RAM, 128 GB memory. Other version come with the 8 GB RAM, 256 GB memory, and UFS 3.1 is available. OS software is Android 12, HiOS is 12. Rear camera is wide 64 megapixel main, and PDAF OIS ultra wide angle is 13 megapixel. F divided by 2.21 divided by 1.3 1.12. AF depth sensor is 2 megapixel. Front camera is 32 megapixel wide. Video capture is rear camera with the rear camera 4K 30 fps 60 fps 1080p 30 fps. Front is camera is 1080p 30 fps, and battery is a 5160 mAh 45 watt wired, 54% in 20 minutes and 100% in 60 minutes advertised. The MISC is a fingerprint reader under display, optical NFC FM radio recording. These highlights are shared between the vanilla and the pro model. In fact, most things are. When crafting the lower tier Phantom X2, Tecno decided to keep as much of the Pro sibling intact as possible. The two phones are nearly identical visually in the terms of the spec. The vanilla is notable, missing the retractable portrait telephoto camera of the Phantom X2 Pro. Even so, the focus on the photography is still clearly on the regular Phantom X2. Has a large 64 main camera megapixel main camera equipped with the OIS as well as the autofocus enabled 13 megapixel ultra wide and a large 32 megapixel cam. Unboxing. Before we get into the camera difference or any of the aspect Phantom, we should check out the retail box like its sibling.